National Analyst warns Indiana front office after major issue around Caitlin Clark resolves. The Indiana Fever has been making serious waves this offseason, and with good reason. With a generational talent like Caitlin Clark on their roster, they're doing everything possible to build a championship-caliber squad around her. But as the saying goes, sometimes too much of a good thing can be a recipe for disaster. The franchise last tasted glory in 2012, with the iconic Tamika Catchings leading the charge. The Fever has done a phenomenal job addressing the cracks from last season. Experience?
Check.
A dominant frontcourt to complement the electric Caitlin Clark-Kelsey Mitchell duo?
Check.
Depth to ensure key players like Clark don't have to play 40 minutes every game, which was a big issue last season.
Check.
The Fever has made big moves, bringing in DeWanna Bonner, Sophie Cunningham, and Natasha Howard. But it's Bonner and Howard who stand out, battle-tested champions whose experience could be the missing piece in Indiana's title hunt. And Rachel DeMita thinks the Fever doesn't need to bring in any more stars. She took to her YouTube channel to caution the Fever team against adding any more veteran signings, and she's got solid reasons behind her concerns. She said, "I would just caution them to not necessarily go in any more with more stars or veterans." She continues, "I don't actually think they need them at this point. You have a solid starting five and you have a solid bench. Caitlin was playing like 40 minutes a game last season, and hopefully she doesn't have to play that much this year. I think they have enough pieces to win now." Rachel's perspective makes sense. While too many players in the same position can disrupt a team's flow, having depth is absolutely key. The Fever have filled their maximum quota of 12 players on the roster and, on paper, they've addressed every need. This squad is stacked and ready to make a run for the championship. While it's normal to assume that a generational talent like Clark would have multiple demands, surprisingly, she had only one request from the front office this season. Let's see what it was. When you go from starting a season 1 to 8 to making it to the playoffs, more often than not you would have built an excellent chemistry on court with your teammates. The young core of Fever, Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, etc., truly enjoyed one another, and they knew if they are going to make the next step, it was important to preserve the locker room culture. Kelly Krauskopf, the president of the Indiana Fever, revealed that maintaining the culture built by the Fever's young core was a top priority this offseason, especially since it was a request from the players themselves. While unveiling Natasha Howard, she said, "The young group that we're bringing back asked us, protect our locker room, protect the culture that we've got started, so that was very intentional." And so Natasha, knowing her when she was a young player, I think everywhere she has gone, she has won. She's a winner. Natasha Howard is a winner. And to have her here, not only as a winner, but as a winning person in our locker room. Bringing in veterans like Natasha Howard and DeWanna Bonner is a game changer for the Fever. With their championship experience, they don't just add skill. They become the pillars of leadership, guiding the young core and ensuring the locker room remains a place of unity and growth. These seasoned players will play a key role in preserving the strong culture the Fever have carefully built over the past year or so. Rachel DeMita's caution about adding more stars makes a lot of sense. Sometimes keeping the roster tight and focused on chemistry is the key to success. With veterans like Natasha Howard and DeWanna Bonner, the Fever are building not just a championship contending team, but one where the culture and leadership will drive them to greatness. Stay tuned for more updates.